Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say shalom to Akim Nakwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. All right, this one being another edition of the Judgment Report. All right, coming to you on February 3rd of 2024. Got a couple, about 4, different articles to go into today. Lord willing, to be edifying. So without any further ado, I do want to go ahead and grab a scripture to start up with. All right, everybody should know this one. This is Deuteronomy. We already got it up, actually. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. And it reads, "See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." All right, and this one's for all you wacky-tacky Christians out there that are, that think that it's Satan sneaking behind Yahweh's back and, stabbing someone. All right, and, look, I got him, Lord. Oh no, that's not how it works. Okay, the Lord knows what's going on. All right, and it even goes out to say it plainly. We'll read it again. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. "See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." Okay, the Lord is the one doing those things. He's saying "I," referring to Himself. Okay, so you Christians got the wrong idea of what judgment is. You have the wrong, you have the wrong idea of a lot of things, but that's just another thing that you're wrong about. Okay, the Lord is the one that's doing this this killing. All right, regardless of it might not be Him physically coming down and doing it, but He has an army at His dispense to send out. Demons, angels, right? Spirits of judgment. Spirits of vengement. Oh, spirits of judgment. Same thing. Spirit of vengeance is what I meant to say, though. Out there, and that's what's causing people, getting in car wrecks and smashing their head against the wheel, and their face popping off. All right, or people falling off buildings, their death, falling on a spike. All right, or people getting hacked in two with a machete. All right, or people getting shot in the face. All right, with a gun, or getting stabbed to death. All right, or burning to death. All right, or drowning to death. Any of these terrible judgments. All right, it's all. Hey, that's all judgment, and that's all from Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. He's the one doing those things. It's not Satan sneaking behind his back. All right, it's not Satan going around and pulling a gotcha on the Lord. That's not how it works. All right, He can't do that. Okay, the Lord knows everything, right? That's what you Christians say. All right, and it's true. The Lord does know everything, but there's a flaw in whatever you're teaching. All right, you Christians, because you say the Lord knows everything, but then you go on to say that, it's a Satan, Satan killed that baby, or how. So you're saying the Lord knows everything, but somehow He didn't know that Satan was, sneaking around behind his back. You just don't make sense. All right, you Christians. All right, it's the Lord doing these. He's aware. All right, no one pulled a gotcha on the Lord. All right, He's the Lord after all. He knows what's going down. He knows what's going down and what's going on. No one's pulling a gotcha. And hey, man, that's just the judgment of the Lord. It doesn't matter if you're old, you're young, you can get it. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and grab the first article. Bear with me just a moment. I had to adjust the chair there for a moment. So let's go and get it. The first one is Grizzly I-95 discovery in Miami-Dade. 2 young toddler twins found dead. Mom critically hurt. Let's go ahead and read this. And I don't know why this is darker than it should be. It looks like it's almost like blurred out. Thought it was going to be a video, I guess not. So you can see that this is compared to the two. This one right here, this is a full color image. I don't know why this one's kind of like darkened out compared to this one, but you can see them there. Two toddlers. It says Miami. 2 children were found unresponsive in a silver van on the northbound Interstate 95 ramp to the Turnpike extension at the Golden Glades interchange early Friday have died, authorities said. A woman believed to be their mother and identified as Shirlene Alkeem was rushed to the HCA Florida Adventura Hospital, where she was listed in critical condition Friday evening. Her husband said he was reeling from the news. And let's see if they give away what it was. If not, we'll have to go get the other article. It says, "I don't know what happened," said Milson Cadet, who identified the children as 3-year-old twins Melendhere Gabriel Napoleon Cadet and Melentjit Gabriella Napoleon Cadet. That's, I don't even know what type of names you're rolling with there. But it says, "I went to work at 5 a.m. Thursday, and then I came back home. I didn't see my wife at home or the kids. We have an office. I checked the office around midnight. I didn't see her at the office. I started calling her on the phone. She never picked up. According to Miami-Dade police, around 2 a.m. they received a call about a child who was unresponsive in the vehicle. Shortly afterward, they received another call that a second child was unresponsive. Just after our units arrived, they located a female on the scene who was the driver of the vehicle. She was driving the vehicle where these juveniles were located, and that adult female went over the railing to the on-ramp onto the railroad tracks, which is a considerable distance," said Miami-Dade Police Detective Andre Martin. The juveniles that were located in the back seat of the vehicle were transported to a nearby hospital, where, despite medical efforts, they were pronounced deceased. The children were 3-year-old fraternal twins, a boy and a girl. Police have not disclosed the cause of death for the children. It says, not just as a police officer, but as a father, any incident such as this one that results in the death of a child is very, very difficult. My prayers are with the family of these children," said Martin. Now, I want to see. I guess this is the lady here. I'm not sure what, judging off of looks, I would guess these to be, 2 so-called black children. I'm not sure if the lady, she's darkish complected, but I'm not sure what's going on. You can tell she's messed up in the head. I don't think they're putting out what it is. Oh, I just want to read this because it's kind of ironic. It says, CBS News Miami's Peter Donch, or whatever this weird name is, spoke with Suzette Morant, who shared photographs of the children and the woman, whom she and other family members said was the children's mother, Charlene Alkeem. It says, "To be honest with you, she was a good mother," Morant said. "She has an older son who is 16 years old. She has been such a good mother, and that's why I co-signed on a car for her to make sure that she and her kids would be safe. The person I know would never do anything like that." I'm trying to find out if, you just look. There you go. So a good mother does not do things like that, all right? This lady tried to Ann Hero herself, all right, or off herself, right? And she, drove into this thing, all right, and, tried to kill herself, but ended up just killing her 2 kids, all right? Now she's going to have to, probably going to be in prison, all right, or admitted to a psych ward or something, all right? And they're saying, oh, she was a good mother. Good mothers don't do this, all right? Good mothers don't do these things, all right? Now, look how that worked out. That's judgment on her behalf. She didn't die, but now look what she has to go through, man. It's wild, all right? And they're saying, oh, she's a good mother. No. See if we can find any more images. So this is apparently what she looked like. Looks to be some type of Jake. I guess this is the father. So, either way, if this is the father, either way, they're good. More than likely a Jake, more than likely Israelites, all right? And it's sad because it's kids, but hey, man, that's just and I don't know if she was planning to get down there onto the tracks and die from the fall, or if she was planning to get down to the tracks and just wait for a train. Who knows? Apparently it was amid an eviction, so she decided she was going to kill herself and the kids. So she's more than likely a Jake, All right, you can't go by names or anything. She seems to be Alcime. It's Haitian. All right, so it's Haitian. So she'd be, if this goes back to, you know, who she is who she is. All right, then that would mean that she's Haitian. So Israelite. Okay, so I have a couple scriptures here that I want to go ahead and grab. All right, this is Lamentations 4 and 3. Okay, it reads, "Even the sea monsters draw out the breast, they give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness." Okay, so that, you know, how are you gonna, you know, it's one thing, you know, you're gonna take yourself out. Now you had to take the two kids with you, and that's all through, you know, that's all through Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's judgment that needed to be made. All right, these children were not innocent. All right, and you're gonna have a lot of people that say, "Oh, these children are innocent. They're innocent. They're just babies. They're innocent." You know, and we get it. It's sad. They're children. You know, but at the end of the day, they're not innocent either. You can't say, you can't just say things that are non-biblical. All right, we got to get a scripture here. You know, because that's the one thing when any of these events happen. All right, whether it's with children or anybody, they could be 40, they could be 50 or 60. Oh, you know, they were innocent. They had no right being killed. They had no right to take them from me. This guy ran into them and killed them and took them from me. He was innocent. You know, no. If he was innocent, all right, if he was innocent, he wouldn't have died in such a terrible way. Now, there's ways you can die, you know, and being, you know, the old age or certain things like that, and it not be judgment. But when you see these terrible deaths like that, it's clearly judgment from the Lord, man. And denying it is not going to get you anywhere, but, you know, maybe judge yourself. So Job 4 and 7 says, "Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off?" It says, "Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. By the blast of Yahweh they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils Slakia. Read it over again. Got too ahead of myself. Job 4 and 9, "By the blast of Yahweh they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed." Okay, so you got now you're wondering, well, you know, how are they doing iniquity and wickedness? All right, well, they might not have been doing it in this life, but in their past lives. All right, it's and reincarnation is a biblical concept. All right, we can go and get iniquity of their fathers. Okay, and that really requires a lesson of its own. But we can go and grab it. It says, this isn't the Bible necessarily that I like to use. Well, no, here it is, right down here in the King James. I don't really like using Bible.com. I like King James Bible Online. I think it's better resource. So let it load, as it takes years to, as it does, because the internet's just goofy. So here we are. This is Exodus 34, right? It's like, yeah, Exodus 34 and 7. It says, "Keeping mercy for thousands." Actually, we'll read up from 6. It says, "And the Lord passed by before him and proclaimed, the Lord Yahweh, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty." So he's not going to clear the guilty. "Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, and upon the children's children unto the 3rd and 4th generation." Now, how long is a generation? You know, what did they say? What, anywhere from like 70 to 30 years? How long is a generation? 30 years, I think. 20 to 30 years. You know, so every 70 to 100 years, you come back after you do the math. After you do the math, right? After you do the math, you come back about every, you know, so it said 3 to 4 generations, right? 3 to 4 generations. If you meet, so 20 to 30 years is a generation. So if you do 25 times 3, that's 75, and 4 is 100. So every 75 to 100 years, you come back, okay? That's why, you know, that says visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children of the 3rd and 4th generation. Why is he doing it under the 3rd and 4th generation? Because you come back every 3 to 4 generations. All right, whoever your family member was, your male, you know, you as a male, whoever your male family member was 3 or 4 years ago, good 3 to 4 generations ago. Got my tongue all messing up on me today. 3 to 4 generations ago was more than likely you. Okay, depending on how fast your family gets down. All right, a lot of children being made in your family can come back a little bit quicker or a little bit slower, depending, right? And there's some, quite a few years, 75 to 100 years. There's a couple years of gaps, all right, that it could be or could not be. So, people would consider this a biblical contradiction because there's another one, the son shall not, the son shall not bear the iniquity. Right here, they consider this a biblical contradiction because over in Ezekiel 8:20, it says, the soul that sinneth, it shall die. The son shall not bear the iniquity of the father, neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. And they consider this, it's a biblical contradiction. No. If my dad was to go and smoke a cigarette, all right, and my dad was to go and commit adultery, or my dad was to go and do this and that, I'm not going to get punished for that. Now, if I saw him doing that, I'd say, hey, Dad, that's going off. You shouldn't be doing those things, all right, to get that, that blood off my hands. But, after that, if he continues to do those things, I'm not going to be punished for his actions, okay? That's what it's talking about. Your father, right, your worldly father now. All right, this, every 3 to 4 generations, that's talking about reincarnation. And the people of the world don't understand it because they don't understand the Bible. They don't understand that reincarnation is a biblical concept, all right? And reincarnation, you come back as what you were. If you're a man, you come back as a man. All right, you're a woman, you come back as a woman. That's how it is, all right? You're not coming back as butterflies and birds and bees and turtles and pigs. No, that's that Hindu BS, all right? Ain't nobody with that, all right? That's stupid. That's dumb. I always felt like I could fly. Maybe it's because I was a butterfly in my past life. No, that's dumb. That's dumb, and you always come back in your lot, all right? You're wicked in your past life, more likely going to be wicked in this life, all right? You might wake up in this life. That's your only hope. All right, but these, when you see these people that perish, being young, you don't know what these who these two young, children were in their past lives. They could have been, just terrible, terrible people, and you can't say they were 3. So let's see, how you would be, that's 2021, right? 2021 minus 75. 75. So the last time they would have been around is like 1946 to 1921 to 1946. So who knows, man? Who knows what they were doing? 1921 to 1946. Okay, you don't know what they were doing in their past lives, and we know. We get it, yeah, but it doesn't. Your hurt feelings does not save you from what the Bible says. If that's how it goes. That's why we have to repent in this life, man. Because we don't know what type of awful person we were in our past lives. You got to realize there's people out there that were the same people, these same Israelites that were saying, crucify him, talking about, Yahweh Shai, the son of the Father, right? Which is the true name of the Son, all right? Because people say Jesus Christ, his real name is Yahweh Shai in Paleo Hebrew, all right? And the Father's name is not God. The Father's name is Yahweh, okay? So these people, when they try to say, this or that, some of these people out here are the same people, that said crucify him. Somewhere out there, there's the same way that the prophets are back, man. And hey, you don't want to believe it, but just because you don't want to believe something doesn't make it not true. All right, same way you want to keep on believing on Jesus Christ. That ain't the name. All right, the name of the Father is Yahweh. The name of the Son is Yahweh Shai. You can't reach the Father but through the Son, so you have to say Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, Father in the name of the Son. All right, Ba'Hashem meaning in the name of. All right, so and there ain't no Trinity. All right, and we get it. You've learned different. All right, well you got to fix that incorrect thinking process, man. Don't get mad at us. Get mad at whoever's been teaching you for this long. Those churches got you messed up. What have you learned? Think about it. Sit down and think to yourself. What have you learned? All right, nothing. You haven't learned anything, man. So it's a sad event. All right, we're not mocking or poking fun at these children. It's sad, but hey, at the end of the day, it's the Lord's judgment. All right, and the same for the woman. She lived. Judgment isn't always death. This woman's got to live with her actions, man. And that's gonna mess her up. She was already in a messed up state of mind, wanting to kill herself. How do you think that's gonna affect her? More than likely, she'll try to do it again. All right. So hey, terrible situation. And hey, it's judgment of the Lord, man. We got Deuteronomy 28 and 56. That's the last one we got for, we actually got 2 more for that article. We're going to get Deuteronomy 28 and 56, because you're seeing a lot of these black women, so-called black women, killing their children up, man. Our women are hey, man, our women, not just black women, but the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American women. They're hey, man, they're under it, man. Hey, but especially the so-called black women. It says Deuteronomy 28 and 56. All right, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 56. Says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. You know, and they have this evil animosity towards their husbands, their sons and their daughters. All right, they hate their husband because of, whatever reason. All right, and leave him. All right, oh, you piece of shit, you ain't shit. And then they hate their son because their son looks too much like their daddy. And you hate your daughter because you're competitive with her. All right, you think she's more pretty than you think you better than me. All this, right? And that's the so-called black woman in a nutshell. Mean towards their husband, mean towards their son because their son looks too much like their dad, and mean towards the daughter because they're competitive. They want to be better than their daughter. All right, they want their daughter really to fall and them to be better. See, I knew I was better than you. Ha ha. Why would you want your children to fail? That's a specifically a black woman concept right there. You don't hear about Asian women, wanting their children to fail. No, they're you're gonna go and you're gonna be doctor, and if you don't, and man, if you don't become a doctor, man, you might get your ass beat over there, your parents and you dishonored your whole family, and you don't become doctor, you will not have productive career, and then but over here, with Jake, you think you're something now? What, you're a doctor? You think you're something now? Oh, what because you make more money than me? You think you better than me? What kind of shit is that? Now, we've talked about it a lot, with the competitive with your children. Don't you want your children to excel? Not Jake's. Jake's don't want their children to excel. They don't want them to excel. They want them to fail, right? That's what they want. And what type of bullshit is that, man? This is another one. We're moving on. Another one. We had one more. All right, and this actually goes for not just that last article with that woman and the children, but most of these, all of these really. Anybody can get it, all right? Anybody can get it. This is Ezekiel 9 and 4 through 7. It says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city. And he was talking, this is the, he was, we could actually read up a little bit. Actually, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. It's basically speaking of, the Lord speaking, to this man, which had the writer's inkhorn, which is basically a reference, a physical representation of the Holy Spirit. All right. So verse 4, it says, this is Ezekiel 9 and 4, and the Lord said unto him, this physical representation of the Holy Spirit, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. All right. And this is a spiritual mark. All right. A mark of election. And it's not a chip. It's not something you get implanted into you. It's a spiritual mark. All right. A mark of exemption of election. Right. Verse 5, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids, very old women, and little children, and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men who were before the house, and he said unto them, defile the house, and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth, and they went forth and slew in the city. So he started with, his people, all right, these people that call themselves, after the Lord, and, begin at my sanctuary, people that say they're followers of me, but go to them, all right? That's scary, man. So you see, the Lord's not a respecter of persons. We can get that as well. There is no respect This is Romans 2 and 11, right here, plain, right? Romans 2 and 11, for there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. He doesn't care if you're small or big or young or old or fat or skinny, right? 5 feet tall, 4 foot small, it don't matter, all right? If the Lord has beef with you, no way you can wiggle your way out of that one, man. So we're going to line up, all right, this scripture, and we're going to go ahead and get it. This is from AP News. It says at least 19 dead in Chile as forest fires approach densely populated central areas. There you go with that fire judgment again, man. It says Chile, all right, intense forest fires burning around a densely populated area of central Chile have left at least 19 people dead and destroyed about 1,100 homes, officials said Saturday. Chile's interior, and I know it's Chile, all right, but Chile and interior, I don't want to enunciate my these Spanish vowels. It's a lot of work. So it says Chile Interior Minister Carolina Toja said there were currently 92 forest fires burning in the center and south of the country, where temperatures have been unusually high this week. Of course, it's been unusually high. There's fires going on. It says the deadliest of the fires were occurring in the region of Valparaiso. It says where authorities urged people not to leave their homes so that fire engines, ambulances, and other emergency vehicles can transit with greater ease. Toha did not offer any details about the 19 people killed, and that's that weird Maui shit, you know? Do not leave your homes. I'm sorry. If there's a big-ass fire coming to my house, I'm leaving my home. I don't know if you know about this, but if there was a fire right now, all right, burning, I'd have to transfer the lesson over to my phone and keep on going. I ain't gonna stay and burn? No. that's stupid. You know, do not leave. I'm sorry, if my neighbor's house just burned down, probably best for me to get going, right? That only makes sense. That's called, common sense, and the neighbor's house is burnt down, his house burnt down, his house burnt down, these guys' house burnt down. Now it's moved over to your next door neighbor, his house burnt down. Odds are your house is probably next. Might want to get going, all right? And hey, you just go somewhere, wait for it to blow over, and come back, see if you can salvage anything, and hey, that's it. You'd be wise to not stay. If all these houses are burning down and your house is right here, I'm gonna stay. Why would you stay? It's what can you do? So hey, that fire judgment, Ecclesiastes 39 and 28 through 30, verse 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. We're gonna get to that next. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. And the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Who made them? Who made the souls? Who made the spirits, right? The spirits of vengeance. Who created the spirits? All right, the Father. So who are they? Whose wrath are they appeasing? If they're appeasing the wrath of him that made them, they're appeasing the wrath of the Father. All right. So there you go, Christians. It's not recessed English over here. All right. You gotta, and it's because they only read Genesis and Exodus. That's it. That's pretty much all they read. A little bit of Revelation. All right, to scare you into hell. All right, you're gonna burn in hell. You gonna burn. All right, and all that stuff. So and that's it. They don't really touch on a lot of different things. So those churches really don't teach you nothing. Verse 29, it says, "Fire and hell." Oh, fire. Oh, fire and hell and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. All those things were created for what? Vengeance. All right, vengeance. So when you see these going out, that is an act of judgment. Well, I had this is a different article. This too, though, when you see those fires burning people up, all right, or if people are getting hit with hail and it's busting their hood open, or they're starving to death, it's all vengeance, man. That's all vengeance. Sword, the modern day sword is the gun, all right, but you can still get hit with that old school sword, machetes, all right, knives, katanas, all right, all these different things. Hey, terrible death, man. You'd rather be shot. Honestly, you'd rather be shot. So let me grab a drink and we'll continue on. All right. So this is CBS News. Suspect dead in Texas after 8 people are killed at 3 locations in Joliet, Illinois. All right, and we touched on this not too long ago, I believe, the same guy. But I guess I don't know if there was an update, but eight people were found shot and killed in 3 different locations over 2 days in Joliet. The suspect in the slaying was also found dead by a suspected suicide 1,200 miles away Monday night, police said. The apparent self-inflicted gunshot death of the 23-year-old Romero Nance in Texas followed a manhunt by multiple law enforcement agencies. All right. It says, at a news conference, Juliet Police Chief Bill Evans said his officers were notified by the Will County Sheriff's Office at 12:04 p.m. Monday about several people found dead in two separate houses on the 2200 block of West Acres Road near Madison Street. It says responding officers found a total of 7 people in 2 houses who had all been shot dead, Evans said. So, hey, man, spirits created for vengeance. All right, spirits created for vengeance. And hey, if you're not following the Lord, man, you can get it, man. It's terrible. It is really terrible. But hey, you know, it can just come out of nowhere. I saw this at work the other day. Me and my coworker were at work, and obviously, me and my coworker were at work. Well, how would I be with my coworker? Well, I mean, I guess you could hang out with him outside, but it wasn't that. We were at work. We have these, had this. It was on the TV. You know, and it popped up and it said 3 people killed when a small plane crashed into a Clearwater mobile home have been identified, police say. Now, when me and him were watching it, I was curious. I said, so you had a whole plane crash into a mobile home park and 3 people died? That's it? And I said, that's got to be what? You know, the 2 pilots and then 1 person? Or maybe it was a 1 pilot. All right. They said it was a small plane, 1 pilot and 2 people, down on the ground. You know, it's wild. It's out of all the, hey, you think there'd be more damage, but this is it. It's pretty localized, man. That is a targeted attack by the Lord. That is a targeted attack by the Lord, man. Look at that. Look, every other building. I wish I could get a better picture of it. Look at that. It looks awful. Oh my God. But if you look at the picture, let's see. Let's try to get a better picture that's not, dingy. I don't know why the CNN photos or CBS photos are dingy like that. Plane crash. I don't know if it's the same place, but I mean, it looks nice, man. I'd live there. I wouldn't have no problem about that. For a mobile home park, these are quite nice looking. I've lived in some mobile home parks that don't look anything like that. This is it's actually quite nice, So let's go look at the plane crash. Here it is. Is that a car? What is that? I can't even make that out. I don't even know what that is. But you can see I kind of just fucked up this one area, man. There it is, better. Look, all these other ones are fine. Just this localized area right here. Boom. Target attack. All right? A targeted attack by the Lord. All right? By the Most High. All right? So, that's the Lord's judgment right there. Wild. Wild, wild, wild. Imagine that you're just sitting in your home and all of a sudden, that's wild. The Lord can do things like that. The Lord is to be feared. Here is Psalms 96:4. For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. Why? Because, here we go, verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Okay, so, I want to keep reading on. Let's get 6. It says, honor and majesty are before him. Strength and beauty are in his sanctuary. All right, give unto the Lord, O ye kindreds of the people, give unto the Lord glory and strength. It says, give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name, bring an offering and come into his courts. The Lord, we can't praise him enough. That's why we say, call all Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, which means all praise to, the Father in the name of the Son. So, and he's to be feared above all gods, because he's the one that actually, did things. He actually made the world, he actually made trees. He made water. He made man. He made lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, right? He made all these different things, and bees and their complex inner workings of how bees work. And he made the plant. Think about that. A bee. He made the bee that, and they say a bee shouldn't even be able to fly with how it's built. That's Esau's science. All right, and they make that bee, and his whole job is to make, honey and stuff. And how does he do that? How does he get that? He has to go and pollinate plants. So now those plants are being helped, to produce their offspring by the help of the bee. Think about that, man. He's done all those things, down to that very small level, that cell level that we don't even know about. All right. And he can do anything. All right. You should fear him, because he can do anything, man. He can, like I said, I've had my ass whooped by the Lord before when I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, as many brothers have been. All right. And I was ill, and they couldn't even find out what was wrong with me. Okay. And you know what? When I prayed and, repented and got right, all right, and started trying to do better, guess what? It just came right off me. That was it. And doctors couldn't find anything, man. They couldn't find nothing. That's why you should fear the Lord. He can make it to where they don't find nothing. Oh, man, my head feels so bad. Oh, we don't see anything. You look fine. Why do you keep on coming back? Think you're a drug addict or something, trying to get drugs or something, or, and then they don't want to help you. All right? Lord can work that way, man. The Lord can work that way. You don't want no smoke with the Lord. It ain't something you want. All right? Trust. It ain't nothing that you want. All right? And many brothers can tell you experiences that they've had. All right, and those things, even though they weren't minor to us, all right, they are minor on the grand scale of things that the Lord can do. You got to realize, man, the Lord can do anything. You can be sitting in your desk and bam, your head could just pop up and float around the room like a balloon. That's cartoon stuff. That can happen. Well, the Lord could do it if he wanted to. Okay, the Lord could do it if he wanted to. The Lord wanted a plane to come down and localized crash only on your house. He could do it. Look, it happened, man. That's wild. You don't want no smoke with the Lord, man. He can get you a million and one ways. Do you remember that show, a million ways to die, 100 ways to die, 100,000, whatever that show was? Go look at some of the episodes. You don't even have to watch the episodes. Go and read just like some of the transcripts of some of those episodes, man. People, that one Moabite, eating squid. The squid, stuck to his throat and he choked to death. There was one guy that was like listening to these, digital drugs, and it blew his eardrums out or something. He bled to death. There was another guy, meteorite, tiny little meteorite went through his head and killed him as he was walking. Those are the only ones I really remember. There was a lot of ones, where they took you out, during, doing the 1-2 with your wife. All right, a lot of those on 1,000 Ways to Die. All right, a fat lady smothering dude to death while he's getting some, and hey. The Lord can take you out in a million and one ways, and you just when you least expect it. That's why we fear the Lord, man, and we know that can happen. We pray and we hope that it doesn't happen, right? And that we can be counted as part of the elect and make it out of here. But these people that have no fear of the Lord, man, that shows you they don't have any understanding. Because if they had understanding, they'd fear the Lord, right? The 2nd Esdras 15 and 26. It says, "For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction." All right, you people that are going against the Lord, you can get it. What are you going to get? Something good? No, you're going to get death and destruction. And ain't nobody, I don't know anybody that wants death and destruction. So why would you want death and destruction? Would you rather have nice things and good nice things, or death and destruction? You'd want the nice things. So why do you keep on just continuing to go off, Jake? Why do you continue to do all these wicked things? Because you don't care at the end of the day. You don't care. All right, Jeremiah 15 and 2 through 3, it says, "And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whether," It says, "And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, Salakia, thus saith the Lord, such are for death to death, and such are for the sword to the sword, and such are for the famine to the famine, and such are for the captivity to the captivity." Verse 3, "And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy." So that's that's terrible. We can go and get that in the Bible Gateway right here. All right. And what does it have to say? We're actually going to go get it in the Good News Translation. It says, all right, "When they ask you where they should," this is Jeremiah 15 and 2 in the Good News Translation, all right, all the way down to 3. "When they ask you where they should go, tell them that I have said, some are doomed to die by disease, that's where they will go. Others are doomed to die in war, that's where they will go. Some are doomed to die of starvation, that is where they will go. Others are doomed to be taken away as prisoners, that is where they will go. I, the Lord, have decided that 4 terrible things will happen to them. They will be killed in war. Their bodies will be dragged off by dogs. Birds will eat them, and wild animals will devour what is left over. Let's get the NLT, because we had that up earlier, and I kind of actually like that a little bit better than the Good News Translation this time. NLT, it says, and if they say to you, but where can we go? Tell them this is what the Lord says. Those who are destined for death, to death. Those who are destined for war, to war. Those who are destined for famine, to famine. Those who are destined for captivity, to captivity. I will send 4 kinds of destroyers against them, saith the Lord. I will send the sword to kill, the dogs to drag away, the vultures to devour, and the wild animals to finish up what is left. The judgment of the Lord, man. You don't want none of that smoke. You don't want it. You do not want it. You don't want it. You don't need it. Bad for your health, and you don't want it. You don't want none of that smoke with the Lord. All right, but some of y'all are gonna get it because you keep saying things about the Lord and thinking that the Lord, and talking about the Lord's men as well. How do you think he's gonna, hey? A lot of y'all are just gonna have to find out the hard way, and we hope that we don't. We hope that we're part elect. We can make it to the chariots and be saved. This is 2 Chronicles 15 and 12 through 13. It says, verse 12, and they entered into a covenant to seek the Lord Yahweh of their fathers with all their heart and with all their soul, that whosoever would not seek the Lord Yahweh of Israel should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. All right, that's what. Let's get another one. Put not off. This is Ecclesiasticus 5 and 7. It says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. So, hey, man, you got to turn back to the Lord now, all right? You don't want to end up in a judgment report or in the news, all right? Or various news and topics. You don't want to end up in one of those, all right? You don't want to end up in one of those. It's bad, all right? You don't want it. But, hey, more people are going to end up in these things because they hate the Lord. They hate the people that the Lord sent, all right? They hate, the idea of change, all right? They want to be the same old worldly person that they've been being, all right? And, hey, because of that, a lot of these people are going to be led to death and destruction, man. It's a terrible thing. But, hey, that's how it's going to be, man, because these people didn't want to change. So that's been the Judgment Report, all right, for February 3rd, 2024. That we're going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing, Shalom.